Me, 20F, with my flatmate, 21F, of 5 months. She thinks I put glue and nail polish remover in her food. I'm sharing a house with two other girls, one of whom is a close friend, and the other girl, Marta, I didn't know before we were living together. Marta knocked on my door this afternoon and asked to borrow nail polish remover, but I don't own any. Then, she handed me a jar of mayonnaise and asked me to smell it. It smelled really strongly of chemicals, and it did smell a lot like nail polish remover. She was really upset and asked if I'd played a prank on her. I said I hadn't, and she got even more upset. Apparently, there was dried glue on top of the mayonnaise as well, and she said she was going to the estate agent or the police to complain and try to get fingerprints from the jar. She also asked if my boyfriend, who visited over the weekend, tried to pull a prank or something by doing it, so I called and I left a message on Facebook. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I really, really doubt he'd do that. She said if it turns out that he did do it, then she won't have him in the house anymore. We're long distance and he visits me every 2 weeks. My other housemate has gone home for Christmas, so I know she couldn't have done it, but I also know that I didn't do it. Marta's really upset and angry with me. She didn't outright accuse me of doing it, but she gave me back a jar of peanut butter I'd given to her. It was in a care package and I don't like peanuts, and said, "Someone gotta start telling the truth," and "If you have a problem with me, then tell me," etc. I really didn't do it. I don't know how her food got messed up with, and I'm worried she's going to try and get me kicked out of the house or something. I really don't know what to do about it, and I'm going to check all of my food later on. Commenter 1. Is it possible that the mayonnaise just went bad? It's mainly egg and vinegar, and if it turns, it would make a pretty nasty, acrid smell. OP. I thought that too, but this was a new jar, only a couple of scoops taken out, and the chemical smell was really strong. It was exactly like sniffing a bottle of nail polish remover. Commenter 2. Yeah, but it could also be some kind of contamination. So I feel like this story is kind of giving me Shutter Island vibes. I don't know if any of you know that movie. It's with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a bit old, but it's really good. And I'm not going to spoil anything. So if you know the ending, then you know. But it's I've got this feeling that she's secretly the one tampering with the food and no, and she just like doesn't remember. And when I say she, I'm referring to her flatmate, not her, because I don't think the original poster did this. I mean, if she did, she wouldn't make a post about why she didn't, right? She'd just keep it to herself. But I mean, this is a crazy situation, and she definitely probably needs some help, unless your other roommate did it. But again, I don't think she would. So I don't know. It also kind of reminds me of when you'd go to the soda fountains and you pour a little bit of soda in each of them, and you'd make like a crazy contraption, and then you'd get that one friend to try it, and it would just be absolutely horrid. That's the other vibe I'm getting for this, but hopefully the update's a bit more positive. Also, let me know if you all want two stories in one video, because right now it's just like the start of this new channel, and I'm just gonna do one for the next couple days. But let me know if you guys want two stories per video, one, maybe more shorter stories, or different subreddits, right? Let me know what you all want, and I'll be sure to read all the comments. Anyways, let's get on to the update. Update 1, 4 days later. So ever since the whole situation blew up, my flatmate, Marta, and I haven't talked. I've knocked on her door a few times, but she ignored me, so I figured she wanted some space and I left her alone. I said to her through the door when she was in her room that my boyfriend got back to me and told me he didn't do it and that I believe him. This morning I found a note on our kitchen counter. English isn't her first language, so I've typed it as she wrote it. It said this: To my name. After the situation what happened on Thursday, you putting a nail polish remover in my food, which was sent to me by my parents from Poland. I do not want you to use my possessions anymore. We do not share any plates, mugs, cutlery, anything anymore. I was nice to you when you were nice to me, but trying to hurt me is not a joke, and I am not going to accept that. If I see any of my food gone or any of my possessions being moved again, I am going to contact the landlord and university, and if my food is being poisoned again, I'm going straight to the police. If similar situations of you poisoning me will happen when your boyfriend is here, I will not hesitate to report you both to the police. I hope you understand, but I don't think you were in the situation when someone tried to poison you. Take care, Marta. Commenter 1. Marta, I did not put anything in your food. I would never do that. I am fine with not sharing anything if that makes you more comfortable. However, I did not put anything in your food. I am not comfortable with you accusing me of this, and am contemplating contacting the landlord, the university, to see if I can be moved. I had hoped to talk to you about this because of how crazy it is. Unfortunately, you are not communicating at all except to continually accuse me of this crazy behavior. I have tried to give you space, but that seems to not be helping. You probably also need to contact the university to explain that your roommate is insane. Now, I assume when she wrote this comment, it's just telling the OP what to say to her, which is very fair. I, yeah, I mean, she definitely needs to either talk to her about this or something because The other girl is just crazy, is she not? Like, okay, let's say your roommate did poison your food. Why would you not immediately report that? Why would you even give them a second chance? Be like, "Oh, you only tried to poison me once, so I'll let it slide, but next time, no, honey. Next time, you're done." Okay? It's like, why are you even giving them a second chance if you really think she did it? But it's obviously because she has no proof that she did it, right? And that she actually didn't, you know, do it. But anyways, update 2. So, after reading what you all had to say, I rang my uni counselor and told her everything that was going on. She's off for the holidays, but was really helpful anyways. She told me to keep a record of everything and just to be careful, and that everything was now on record at the uni. I also sent her a scan of the note Marta left me. I spoke to Marta the day before yesterday. We've been civil to each other the past few days, and she left another note on Thursday that said we're cool, and she didn't want to fight anymore. I had a long conversation with her yesterday afternoon, and it turns out she's on new medication for her seizures that make her black out sometimes. She was very apologetic, and she said that there's an adjustment period for the meds she's on, and that the doctor warned that for a few days she might become paranoid or forget what she's done. We've been getting on well ever since, and she seems to feel really bad about the whole situation. I'm still being very careful, and I'm keeping my non perishable food items in my room. Going to the university and getting ahead of this was really helpful. My counselor said that the support office would contact her and keep my name out of it to make sure she's okay. Otherwise, nothing weird has happened and she seems to be adjusting okay. She's a little jumpy, but not at all hostile or paranoid now. I think it's gonna be okay, but I'll be keeping an eye out for her and updating my counselor on the situation. Thank you all for your help. The situation had me seriously lost. Commenter 1. She should very definitely had warned you about the meds right when she went on to them. Paranoid side effects are nothing to mess with. If I were you, I would probably still move. If I were her, I'd be damn understanding about it too. It's not precisely her fault. Drugs are powerful, but she really should have prepared for the possibility that she'd do something awful during the adjustment period. Yeah, I completely agree. And when the university says they'll keep your name out of it, I just don't understand how she's not gonna know that it's you. So I don't really think that part matters. But yeah, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong, and now that we know that she's just on meds for her seizures, it's a lot different, right? I mean, she should have told you first, especially if the side effects are this bad. Because then what if something does happen to her and no one's home? How are you supposed to know how to help her, you know? But, I mean, would I wanna live with her after that? It might take a while, but I'd probably get over it. For you though, yeah, I don't know. It just all depends on the person. Some of the comments think she should move, some don't. And the OP does say that she can't really afford it right now because breaking contact means that she has to pay a bit extra. So again, that's another issue, right? So she just can't afford to move, and that's okay. Because we have another update. Final update. 7 days later from the last post. Basic recap. After a while, she apologized and said that paranoia was a side effect of the new epilepsy meds she's on. After that, everything seemed fine. We hung out and spent New Year's Eve together and we're getting on great. Today I woke up to find a note that Marta had taped to my door. It said that she wasn't well, but that she also didn't feel safe in the house with me, so she's actually left her course at the university and has gone back to Poland. I had absolutely no idea this was coming. We were getting on fine, and she'd apologized for accusing me before, so I'm pretty confused. I was woken up by some noise this morning at around 5 a.m. or so, and I think that it was her leaving for the airport. I went up to her room to see if she was still around to talk to. The note just said she was going home to Poland, and her room was stripped clean. None of her stuff was left anywhere in the house, and it seems she's left for good. I have no idea whether she's contacted our landlord or what, and I have absolutely no clue how to handle this. It's just so confusing and upsetting because I had no idea she was planning to leave. She hasn't paid her share of the bills for the last month, or from when she was alone in the house during the summer, and I have no clue how to go forward or try to explain the situation to my other flatmate who wasn't here for all the mayonnaise drama. Marta isn't answering any of my calls or texts. Okay, your roommate is just a little crazy. And now it kind of makes sense that she was trying to find a way just to get out of there because she hasn't been paying her bills. However, I don't think that it's your issue if she's not paying her bills, right? Don't they require you to have like a form of payment on file or something when you you know, get to the university? So like if let's just say you contacted your landlord and said, "Hey, so and so isn't paying their rent and they're not even here anymore, they're gone." Right? Like what do we do about it? Couldn't they just take the money from her, like, charge her for it, and then just charge her interest for it, so it's, like, a really bad situation for her. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how that works, but I don't think that should be too big of a deal. Like, it's a big deal because it's very stressful, and I get that, right? Money problems are always fucking stressful. I mean, I stress out over spending, $20 sometimes. I'm like, "Oh, what am I doing? Ah, it's such a waste of money. I'm such an idiot." But I mean, like, in your case, it's thousands of dollars of rent, and this person who is supposed to be responsible isn't, right? And it's like, what do you do? Anyways, that's all for this story. Let me know what you all think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.